Hello, boys and girls. So, let's start episode number 7 of our Ottoman Empire Centralist Path playthrough. Oh wow, my Arcus doesn't have any battery anymore. Me. Okay, so last episode we won the war in Jabal Shamar and Eastern Turkestan. I hope Jabal Shamar does not screw it up this time, because I really can't help them and I don't want to help them, to be honest. So I don't get that, why they declare, like, why two Turkic nations declare war on each other. But anyways, they both have. That's good that this is done. They both have Turkic population and, well, I don't know. And they have generic focus trees. By the way, Azerbaijan and the Islamic Federation of Turkestan, when they have focus trees and decisions to make and events, the gameplay for the Ottoman Empire will be greatly expanded, because that's like where the interest of the Ottoman Empire lays. Like the Ottoman Empire, there was a set there, I said it in the first episode, that's one of our set war goals, that we want to have Turkestan and Azerbaijan, because they are both very important for our security. Alright, so now I will start with this here and I'll tell you why, because I want to do the Tigris development screen to have the Tigris program as soon as possible. So I'll do the 4 years progress. Inspired in part by the socialist system, the cabinet of our Grand Vizier will decree the next 4-year plan, which he has dubbed the 4 years of progress, with the focus on rapid industrialization of the Ottoman nation. It wants to greatly reduce the reliance on foreign goods and expand the domestic industry, targeting textiles, steel, cement, and others. By the way, you will see they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles to defend, and should I just get Western Thrace, they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles to defend. So actually, the Bulgarian army starts. Bulgaria loses the war faster if they give in to the demands, which makes no sense. I've already filed a GitHub bug report as a suggestion that Bulgaria should get a truce with the Ottoman Empire, so the troops here are freed up to fight on the other fronts, which would really make sense. Okay, let's start. Our forces have returned home. Serbia declared war on Bulgaria, and that means that we can centralized text collection. We'll do that. The Hijaz Wilayat has a special status within our empire as the holy cities, the most important cities on the peninsula, and their importance to Islam have kept many of our centralization policies at bay, with even the young Turks of the Cup unwilling to touch this old institution. This has almost completely exempted the region from taxation, and in fact subsidies called the Surre are even granted from the Ottoman treasury, which are distributed to the poor in Mecca and Medina. Our current Grand Vizier, however, is far less open to the continued presence of religious authority in matters of the state, and has decreed that the region should pay its taxes just like any other vilayat, and has ordered an extensive investigation into the region to establish a central agency in Medina. Okay, centralize. By the way, I need a lot of political power, because I need to get 2 like, I need to get a chief of staff and an army chief. Yeah. Well, anyways. Oh yeah, I wanted to take the decision too. Okay. Where's my decision to take Western Thrace? Oh yeah, demand it. Yeah. I demand Western Thrace. Inhabited by a Muslim Turkish majority, the lands of Western Thrace were taken from us after the disastrous Balkan War. Repeated reports of mistreatment of these people by the Bulgarian government and the rising anti-Bulgarian sentiment in the Balkans overall are now putting pressure on the Ottoman government to interfere in favor of the Turks and to return them to the protection of the port. Of course I'll do that. Yeah, Spanish Civil War. Good foreign policy is vital to the survival of the Mediterranean. Yeah, blah blah. Brazil. Blah, blah. Trouble in Dubai. Tensions have been rising in the Sheikhdom of Dubai in the Persian Gulf. As the catastrophic collapse of the pearl trade has caused massive shockwaves in the small city, Nukat's captains of pearl fishing boats are forced to stay in port year-round, as competition with the synthetic pearl originating in Japan has saturated the market an already smaller pie due to the global economic catastrophe. Furthermore, the monopoly on power of the Sheikh has given rise to a reform movement calling, if not for this outright abdication, at least for the installment of a democratic body in the form of a majlis. Under threat from a supposed assassination plot by a group of local merchants, disgruntled princes and expatriates, the Ottoman fleet has dispatched a small vessel to the Turkish coast to deter any open aggression against the Sheikh, but tensions have only further escalated, with the ruler and his supporters entrenched on the Bur-Dubai side of the creek and his opponents on the other side at the Deira. It seems the whole Sheikhdom is spoiling for a fight. Sporadic gunfire has reportedly been heard in the city, and meddlers in the neighboring Sheikdoms are seemingly looking for a chance to pounce and back their horse in the fight to come. So force the Sheikh to concede, or it's not our place to intervene. Force the Sheikh to concede. Of course, I want to increase the integration of the Arab Peninsula Vilayets. Yeah. Brazilian Republican Army. Revolts, Rondon revolts, whatever that is. So, transmission from Brazil. Brazil declared war on Rio Grande do Sul. Sao Paulo. Okay, like Brazil is falling apart. Okay, and I should resign them to their original armies. By the way, let's look at Brazil. Okay. Brazil. Oh, okay. They're like national populist. What is he? Authoritarian Democrat. You? Social conservative, national populist, social liberal. Yeah, I don't really care what happens in South America, sorry guys. Very ignorant of me, I know. Okay. Fall of New York City, construction 2, that's good. Yeah, I should gain some resource efficiency. That's good. Well, I don't have any weapons left, so I hope that this goes quick. So, The question of Thrace, with Bulgaria now embroiled in a war with Belgrade Pack, a question has now arisen within the halls of government as to whether we should reclaim the lands which are rightfully ours. Since the end of the Weltkrieg, Bulgaria has occupied lands in western Thrace which are largely both Muslim and Turkish. Surely they would see reason if their old ally asked for them to be handed over. Make the demand, outrage, or we have no interest in getting involved right now. I do have interest. Make the demand. Just looking. Oh, okay, Bulgaria has it as a core as well. So if I don't take it because they will lose the war, because they always lose the war, Greece has only a claim. They ain't got no. Core on it. I have a core and Bulgaria has a core. So, slower. Oh yeah, my planes. And I might want to. Oh, I should not forget about these. Select. Okay. Stop it. Go back, mate. Okay, you as well. Stop the exercise. You, mate. Well, you are already here, aren't you? So, naval invasion support. That's good. Support me here, mate. You over here. Attached to this group. And you attached here. Very well. So, and you, my friend, will attack. And let's go. Bulgaria refuses. I don't want them to refuse. Stubborn to the last, the Bulgarian government has responded to our demands with only outrage. They are ready to fight us as well if we need be. So be it. Okay, mate. Oh, for God's sake, just please do it quick. Like, make it quick. Yeah, you get your non-aggression pact. My God. The Grand Vizier speaks, praising the virtue and bravery of Ottoman soldiers on the front line, fighting for the honor of our empire. The Grand Vizier has called upon Parliament to provide a unified statement of praise at the address of the Sultan, congratulating him with the victory of his troops, hammering down on the shared duty to the Ottoman state and its Sultan. Every single one of them shares. He has subsequently requested that Parliament be temporarily dismissed until the war is over, and that he be granted full executive powers to guide the nation during these trying times. How can one, he continues, have an issue with the exalted Sultan and per extensions his council of ministers during this crisis, and how could there be disagreement in a cause so righteous and noble? Answered by the ear-shattering applause from his supporters and the rise of representatives from all across the empire to outdo the other in signing their praise of the most exalted of sultans and his loyal servant. A vote on the proposal was called at once and answered by nigh unanimous support from both sides, as members of the opposition fear that raising their voice against a cause so patriotic and just may paint them as enemies of the state. Yes, they would be enemies of the state if they do it. And traitors to our beloved Caliph. As word of the Parliament agreement spread to the streets of Constantinia, and the letter of praise is proclaimed to the roaring patriotic crowds gathered in front of the building, some say, as part of an organized action by OHF, tears spontaneously spring up in the eye of the bystanders as the excitement and enthusiasm of the people spreads to both sides of the Bosporus. Long live the Devleti-i Bedi Müddet, long live the Padishah. Base stability -8, wall support +8. Alright, let's go. Alright, come on mate, please. Now the problem is I ain't got no weapons, like... Oh, that's good. Yeah, give me weapons. Why do you cancel it? Peru and Ecuador, yeah, blah blah. Kemalists closed down HIF newspapers, bearing the seal of the Grand Vizier and an irate decreasing the closure of all anti-patriotic news agencies. Police forces and soldiers of the Constantinople Corps could be seen going from door to door, confiscating printing presses and sealing offices of newspapers affiliated to the opposition. Liberal protesters gathered in front of the building and have called upon the soldiers to cease their actions at once, crying out that the freedom of speech and free press are being silenced by the dictatorship of Grand Vizier. A small skirmish between the police forces and protesters in front of the HIF's main office was broken up by police batons as 10 bystanders were taken into custody for unpatriotic action and treason towards the Sultan. The Grand Vizier tightens his grip on the nation. Okay. Increase at Constantinople? Oh wow. Yeah, you get your non-aggression pact, mate. Fall of Denver, don't care. Well, let's take a look. Somebody has to stop this socialist menace. The Kashgar Conference, a small conference of Islamic nations, was put on by the new government of East Turkestan. Though we sent no official diplomatic delegation, a number of our intellectuals attended the event. While the conference went smoothly at first, it quickly became the focal point of a coup. Our intellectuals were subjected to a gruesome bloodbath and have returned home with a great apprehension for the new regime of Hassan, despite its calls for Islamic unity. God is truly the greatest planner. Okay, let's see. What path did they take? Okay, they have like no focus. I don't care really. That's for God's sake. Oh no, please not. Like, don't reinforce. Come on, mate, please. $98. I don't have air superiority? Really? The Grand Vizier travels to the front to bolster the morale of the troops on the front lines and his own reputation as the Ghazi of Marash and the old commander-in-chief of the Ottoman army and current Grand Vizier, has decided to take a trip to the front to discuss the situation with his generals. Congratulating the High Command for their astonishing victories and shaking hands with the many of the foot soldiers in the army, the Pasha's actions seem more likely an election campaign and less likely governing. The action is successful nonetheless. Sorry, guys. As the popularity of the hero of Antep and Marash continues to rise with every victory on the field, the army salutes its hero. Every army leader like add following effects on all of 10 days: offensive 10% breakthrough threat, organized damage taken -50. Okay, come on, guys, like, do it. Do it. Do it. Our 4 years of progress, that's good. Land doctrine, military factory. Oh no, I want to get to the Tigris development screen. Okay. Concentrated around the three main industrial resources: coal, iron, and oil, the Three Black Project aims to expand the domestic production to a point that the Ottoman Empire is capable of being self-sufficient. To achieve this goal, the universities of the empire have, in cooperation with institutes all across Europe, worked towards the refinement of extraction methods and the exploration of new sites. Ta-da! Camel wrestling for the Air Force. As the economic depression caused by the Black Monday crisis has taken a heavy toll on our empire, the budget for the military has also seen a significant decrease. In order to make up some of the losses, the Ottoman National Aviation League has decided to host a fundraiser in the shape of a spectacular camel wrestling championship, the likes Anatolia has never seen before.